Head pass. Head. Hold the ball. Heads called and Heads wins the toss. Amir Sohail, what are you going to do?
We're going to ball first on this wicket.
Very interesting decision. Explain a little more.
Yeah, because you know, we're not sure about the bowlers. They're carrying a bit of injuries, so we can see some juice on the wicket. So we just want to extract anything we can.
Yes, the pitch has a little bit of grass that is standing up, hasn't it?
Yeah, so it'll be good for the bowlers since we're playing with 3 fast bowlers. So we just want to take some advantage of it. We know it's going to be difficult to bat in the last innings, but the thing is we're very confident about our batting, and the only worry we have is the bowling. So we're going to try and bowl first now.
An exciting time for you to captain the side?
It's not exciting time. It's the biggest honor for anybody who's representing his country to be the captain. It's like the big day for me.
You've had a very traumatic few days. How are the boys feeling?
Well, the boys are calmed down a bit now, and they're looking forward for this test match. And I think they're going to come out strong in this match.
You've also had a lot of injury problems.
Well, that's the main worry, and well, we have to go and play the test match. We have to leave it out of our system, and we just have to concentrate on the game now.
Good luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
Gary, your first opportunity to captain South Africa, great moment for you?
Yeah, it certainly is, Trevor. It's a great honour, and I'm looking forward to it. It's an added responsibility for me, but I'm really looking forward to the challenge.
You lost the toss. What would you have done if you'd have won it?
I think we probably would have batted, so I think we're going to be relatively happy with that, and we'll see how we do.
And the South African side, obviously they've had this weight. How's the feeling been?
Yeah, it's obviously been a little bit unfortunate for the Pakistanis, but hopefully they've been able to come through it, and you know, we're looking forward to playing cricket, and hopefully it'll be a good test series.
So you're batting, you've got a very strong batting side with Herschel Gibbs having come in for Brian McMillan, looking for a big score.
Yeah, I mean, that's what test cricket's all about. We've got to try get up into the 400s in the first innings, so you know, it's up to the batters to apply themselves and put in a good performance.
What do you think of the pitch?
I think it looks all right. There are quite a few cracks in it early on, but I think that will be exploited maybe later on in the match. And I think it looks all right to bat on at the moment.
The first session, though, is always vital at the Wanderers, isn't it? You can get through to lunch with having lost 1 or 2, you're okay.
Yeah, you never know what happens in the first session, so let's all wait and see.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
So Pakistan deciding to field first on winning the toss, obviously fancying their chances. Let's have a look at the teams then and see how they're going to be shaping up for this one. First up, the South Africans. Hansie Cronje, who's made the headlines for all the wrong reasons this week, is also missing the match. The captain is out having had knee surgery, and that means that Gary Kirsten, the run machine of recent times, will be leading the side. A great honour for Gary Kirsten. The other major change, Dave Richardson, the wicketkeeper, has retired. That means Mark Boucher, who sat out virtually all of that tour of Australia without getting any matches, will be behind the stumps for this one. Otherwise, a balanced look to the side that toured Australia. The Pakistanis, obviously the talking point this week was that mugging. Now, the 2 players involved, Mohammad Akram and Saqlain Mushtaq. Saqlain had the far less severe injuries by all accounts. He will be playing, but Mohammad Akram, who really came off quite badly in that terrible incident, will not be playing. So it'll be Waqar Younis who will be the real focus with the new ball, as Wasim Akram is not in that team. But the spinners, you'd imagine, Saqlain Mushtaq and Mushtaq Ahmed will be the keys. Is Saqlain mentally, psychologically recovered, though? We'll find out by picking up the action, and we'll join the action in the 5th over. It's Waqar Younis bowling to Adam Barker.
2 overs apiece, Waqar and Shoaib. Nothing to show yet, and been fairly tidy. Peel here for a catch. It's given, not out. And I think, if anything, it might have brushed a sleeve. Well up to him, plays it nicely. It's fast, this outfield, and I think that's going to win the race to the boundary. Only just, but it's beautifully timed and placed. Well, shouts of catch it there, and Gary Kirsten will get a single. We were just pointing out those 2 men on the onside in catching positions, and it'll be interesting to see just how close that was to a catch to the forward short leg.
Yeah, just a little bit to his left. Would have been a brilliant effort had he taken it. But some good bowling to his field very well.
In the air and out. Yes, Peter Willey confirms. The first wicket goes down. A little bit of strange bounce there. We'll get a better look at it in a minute, but Waqar Younis strikes. Gary Kirsten out for 3.
Yes, very unlucky Gary Kirsten. Hasn't had much of the strike. He hasn't really been able to get his innings going. This ball taking off a little from and coming into him, trying to keep it down. He was worried about that short leg, over-adjusted, and instead the ball hit the shoulder and a gully takes a relatively easy catch.
So a big blow that for South Africa. Gary Kirsten, the form man, caught in the gully by Azza off the bowling of Waqar Younis for 3. Jacques Kallis, age 22, and certainly came of age in Australia. Wonderful century in the second innings in Melbourne to
Shots of catch it, but that ball races away to the boundary. 17 for 1 goes to 21 for 1 as Adam Bacher gets his 3rd boundary and moves on to 14. Adam Bacher never afraid to play his shots. That ball was full, it was wide, it was swinging away for him, but look at how well balanced he was here. Bent knees and just pushes it straight into the gap between backward point and gully.
a little bit of late out swing there. Extra step with the left foot. I think pretty well controlled. Clipped away. Long chase for Waqar Younis, and he gives it up. 4 runs to Adam Bacher. That takes him on to 20, and the score to 29 for 1. Good delivery, but Adam Bacher up to it. I beg your pardon, Jacques Kallis. What a great shot that was.
Yes, it didn't come off now. This is exactly what we've been saying. The ball didn't come off the pitch fast enough. It was a bouncer, and Waqar Younis did dig it in. But look how slowly it came in. And Jacques Kallis picked it off his nose so well. Timed it slightly low on the bat, but into the gap. And really never a doubt that it was going to be 4 once he'd hit it.
It's Test cricket at its best. One of the world's great fast bowlers against a young man whose Test career is still way out there in front of him. Tested him out, and Jacques Kallis won that round anyway. Tries it again. He gets exactly the same treatment. Good stuff.
Well, he ran in there so much faster than in the previous delivery, but I'm afraid the pitch isn't helping him very much. And Jacques Kallis, once again, he might have even been expecting it. I think all fast bowlers hate being hooked for 4. I hate being hit for 4, but being hooked for 4 is an indignity that no bowler who's got 239 Test wickets will endure without some protest. And this was the protest, but unfortunately for him, away it went again, this time with even more confidence and assurance. Look at that beautiful stroke, and Ernie Els couldn't have timed it better with more elegance.
Beautifully driven, but very well stopped by the captain.
Trevor, Adam Bacher has been confident since he came in. He's prepared to play anything up to him. Look at the ball he played. Again, is up. He's prepared to drive anything up to him, and he's really confident. I hope he keep it. He still needs that 100 behind his name.
So there are 4 runs down to third man, because there is no third man. It was wide of third slip, and we'll have to see whether it was in the air as it went past him.
Certainly, Trevor, it was in the air. As I said at the beginning, that he's throwing his bat, anything that's up to him. And as you said, Waqar is swinging wide and he's throwing a bat there. He's got to be careful. 3 slips in a gully, it can go anywhere.
Oh, playing and missing. And Waqar aware of the fact that that was again close to the edge. Beautiful away swing there from Waka. And it's been exciting action, and here's more of it. Lovely shot again through the covers. Not maybe timed as well as some of the others that we've seen go through that area, but 4 runs nonetheless.
Again, it shows how quick the wicket is. Kallis went right up forward, pushed the ball in the gap, and he gets a brilliant 4.
Well, that's 4 runs. Shouts of catch it. Brings up the 50.
Again, Trevor, he played away from his body. The ball was past the test slip high up. I think he's leaving dangerously.
He goes for this one. It's up in the air, and there's a man under it, and he's gone. He is caught by the short leg. Mohamed Wasim went for the pull again. He's brought it off on 2 occasions with success. Once again, fed him the short ball. He went for it and succeeded in only getting a top edge, and the second South African wicket is down.
Certainly, Trevor, they've picked it up. That anything short is going for it, and this was outside off stump, and he pulled it from that side. He got a top edge, went right up. See, there it's been taken.
Yes, there's the short leg getting underneath it. Not easy with a helmet on to keep your eyes focused on the ball for that length of time, but he never took his eyes off it, made the catch safely, and out goes Jacques Kallis, caught by Wasim of Shoaib for 15, and South Africa 56 for 2.
Trevor just said about the pulling. Again, short ball didn't bounce that high, and the pulling. I'm getting worried.
And tempting him again. That was a very nice bouncer. That was a good one.
Wasn't hit all that well, and he runs the risk of a run out. Goodness me.
Batsmen are really favouring the pull shot this morning. Some of them have been played very well, but others not quite so well. Adam Bacher, the ball skidding onto him a bit, didn't get hold of it. Nearly spooned a comfortable catch out to mid-on.
Full in the air for a little while, but I think it'll run away for 4, and does.
Adam Bacher perhaps looking for the shorter delivery. Ball was pitched up, his footwork wasn't there. Hits the ball uppishly, but fortunately for him, picks the gap, and that's 4 runs.
Very, very fine. Whether it's off the bat or not, we're not sure. It's gone for 4, and it is off the bat.
Another boundary to Adam Bacher. He moves to 39, which is very good going on the first morning of a test match as we watch this short delivery. Comes off the glove, fortunately wide of the keeper, and it runs down to the final leg boundary.
See plenty of that in day 6.
Cullinan again aiming in the direction of square leg. Very strong appeal by Pakistan. Cyclone widely regarded as one of the best finger spinners in the world. You will enjoy the extra bounce that West Wanderers pitch offers.
That's, of course, if he pitches it, or when he pitches it. Nicely tucked away by Adam Buck. That's one thing getting a full toss, but you've got to make the most of it, and he did.
Good placement by Adam Bacher. Finds a gap between mid-on and mid-wicket for a batsman of international stature. That is certainly meat and drink.
Loud appeal. Let's have another look.
Good delivery by Mushtaq. Hits him very low by Mitchley, deciding that the ball probably missed leg stump.
Waka Yunus to Daryl Cullinan. And immediately is going to be 4 runs down to third man. There are only 2 slips in the gully in position now, not 3 slips. This was more controlled going down to third man as it was along the ground.
Yes, he played it with soft hands. Of course, it's the loosener from Waka Yunus. So even though it did leave Daryl Cullinan a fraction, you could see it hit the bottom outside edge of the bat, going perfectly into the gap. And frustration for Waka Yunus, who has decided to continue to bowl from the golf course end and use the gentle breeze that's going across the batsman to help his outswing. It's absolutely amazing to think that this man is only 26 years old.
Played quietly on the onside, no run, so the first over after lunch, it's 80 for 2. This is nicely played. That will give him a bit of confidence.
Absolutely. Well, that's the sort of thing that Daryl Cullinan needs. Not for the public, but for himself. He needs to show himself that he can play wrist spinners, that he can play anybody and play them well. And if he does get runs, he's going to get them elegantly. And this is a perfect example.
Field for LBW, and the fingers up. And Adam Bacher is out LBW to Waka Yunus, and an early blow for South Africa after the luncheon interval, and the third wicket is down.
Well, Waka Yunus made an obvious change in tactics. He decided to run the ball back into the right-hander and has achieved success. If that ball beat the inside edge of the bat, and it looked as though it did, it looked as though it would have also taken leg stump. So Adam Bacher again flatters to deceive, out for 46.
Mushtaq Ahmed continues to Daryl Cullinan. Cullinan drives and drives well. I think he might get 4 runs here. There's a man out in a sweeper position almost, but he couldn't get around to cut that one off. The classic cover drive for 4 from Daryl Cullinan.
2 confident shots in 2 overs from Daryl Cullinan against the leg spinner. He started rather shakily with 2 pulls when he didn't know the bounce, but look at that, absolute poetry and perfectly into the gap.
Bowled off stump out of the ground, and again, if you just having said so, Lee, he was looking for a pretty expansive shot there to Waka Yunus, and he's had his off stump knocked out of the ground.
Well, just once again, the South Africans flattering to deceive. Daryl Cullinan had pretty well got over the worst. He'd got 16, he'd had 3 delightful 4s, and look at that, look at the gap between bat and pad, and the ball coming back beautifully. Now we know that Waka Yunus does this when the ball gets a bit older. He brings it back, and Daryl Cullinan goes for 16.
Rachel Gibbs, just 23 years old, and only playing his 7th test match. He's not really posted a score of great significance. He batted nicely for that 54 against Australia in Sydney on the recent tour, and then came home and made 150 for Western Province, so he's in good form. This is a nice shot from Gibbs. It gets him off the mark in handsome fashion. It's 4 runs.
Well, it also breaks the deadlock of nearly 3 overs, 3 maiden overs. So South Africa 95 for 4.
That's now a very close shout, and umpire Mitchley says it's out.
Very loud appeal there from Mushi. Let's just have a look. Oh.
It was a decision had to be made, wasn't it? That Cyril Mitchley had to know that the ball had turned back in enough to hit the off stump. More about that in a moment. 96 for 5. Sean Pollock. Rapidly becoming, if he hasn't already got there, as one of the world's top all-rounders and a beautiful stroke player, averaging 30.
Lovely shot there from Andrew off the back foot. That's what I think what you're tending to look for a leg spin is when he drops it short, you can get onto the back foot and cut. And with Shane Warne it's a little bit more difficult because he's got the flipper which could undo you. But with Mushi, that's what I think most batsmen are tending to look for, the short ball.
In the air, and I thought I heard something. Umpire Mitchley didn't.
It's definitely gone off the top of the pad, but whether it brushed the gloves after that, only the batsman probably will be able to tell us.
And Shoaib Akhtar from the golf course end. No ball. No ball called, and it's been nicely played past the square leg umpire. They've got 2, and they'll be thinking of a 3rd, and they'll get it comfortably as the fielder goes crashing into the advertising boards.
Very good shot by Sean Pollock. His balance is absolutely perfect as he works the ball off his hip through that vacant mid-wicket area. Unfortunately, South Africa, as has been the case in recent times in the first innings of a test match, find themselves under lots of pressure and relying on the latter order to bail them out of trouble. So, far from the ideal situation, and what one would like to see is your top 6 batsmen making the big contributions that are needed.
This will definitely be 4 runs. He times this quite beautifully. This time it's Andrew Hudson. Edged and dropped at second slip. Saeed Anwar. Oh dear, as slip catches go, that was straight into the bucket.
Well, a slip catch is never an easy one, but by test standards, that should have been caught very easily. It's a very important time during this test match. Pakistan made the controversial decision, as we just watched Sean Pollock just play away from his body slightly. It was a good delivery moving away, and it just never looked like being caught. But as we said, it's a very important time in the test match.
Akhtar again. And away swing there, another one dropped. And he's going to get a couple of runs. It won't go to the boundary for 4. That was a very well delivered ball. It was swung away and reduced him into the drive, and he might have been caught at cover.
His delivery is well pitched up. Andrew Hudson didn't hit it as well as he would have liked. Again, at test level, it would have been a wonderful catch, but that's what test cricket is about. Catching balls like that one can easily turn a game, and Pakistan have now dropped both Shaun Pollock and Andrew Hudson, something that they can ill afford at this crucial stage of the match.
Well, this is going to be 4 runs and very nearly 6 runs over the wicketkeeper's head. It was short, he went for the pull shot, he climbed on him and he got the top edge, but fortunately he really had a full go at it, and as a result of it, it went over the wicketkeeper's head. 1 bounce of 4 runs. Big top edge.
That's nicely played, beautifully timed by Pollock. It's a chase for both fielders, but I don't think either are going to make it, and they don't.
Out of a lovely shot by Shaun Pollock, coming in the front foot, angling the ball well between the 2 fielders and the covers, get a beautiful 4. Front foot right across and playing it on the up. Good shot.
That's sore. That's very sore. Yeah, bat's down, gloves are off. Take a breather, Shaun. He's hit the fleshy part, I think, of the inside of the leg. Or was it, as they say, the nether regions? Very much so, the nether regions.
I don't think any cricketer would have liked that on a Valentine's Day.
Big appeal, not out. 137 for 5. That's a good shot. It's the first time in which that's really tossed it up there, and Andrew Hudson made the most of it.
Definitely a good shot, came down and get it over the top. Good shot.
Well bowled. Brilliant comeback from Mushtaq. Just been hit for 4 over his head, and then comes up with the perfect leg break. Well bowled. Not so well taken by Mohan Khan. Well, Hudson, almost with disdain, hits that back down the ground. I didn't think he timed it very well to start with, but it got there very quickly.
Nice shot, and that takes us to the highest partnership of the day.
Tries to catch it because it did go in the air. Superbly timed. That's exquisite. That's the best shot, in fact, of the over. And a very expensive over too. 12 off it, 149 South Africa for 5.
And that takes us to 50 partnership. 31 by Hudson and 21 by Pollock.
Trap has worked in the end. They've been placed there in various positions for the pull shot. Pollock goes for it and succumbs. So the end of a very, very good partnership between these two. But South Africa in lots of trouble here at 149 for 6. Not properly timed, and a simple catch to backward square leg. Shaun Pollock will be livid with himself as he makes his way off the Wanderers Stadium. And a lot of work to do, South Africa. There is a lot of work to do indeed. 149 now for 6. He will have gone a long way to justifying the selectors' faith in him. Mushtaq. Oh, and he's He's put down at slip. The second catch that's gone down in the slip cordon. So another life for a South African batsman. In this occasion, it was Mark Boucher. Didn't read the googly. Dragged it on. Big wicket that is for Pakistan. Hudson, the one man who was beginning to just put a few runs on the board and play some good shots against Mushtaq, and a soft dismissal in the end as he drags that ball back into his stumps. Just reward for Mushtaq.
Ball pitch, going outside off stump, played away from his body, didn't go right across, and dragged the ball back to his stumps.
So celebrations as Andrew Hudson, bowled by Mushtaq for 33. 5 fours he hit in that innings of 33, and South Africa now 157 for 7. Lance Klusener's statistics as a test player, 26 years old, 12 matches only, so a lot of his career still to come. Averages 30, and of course who'll ever forget that brilliant 102 of 100 deliveries in Cape Town a couple of years ago. Well, that's an interesting start, but it's fallen safely for him. I told you, situations, whether it's a minute away from tea or 157 for 7, makes no difference to this young man.
He likes to get on top of the bowling, and his first bowling tries to make it out of the park.
Would have been better off hitting that through the offside. Just turned too much for him.
Well, there's an appeal there for a catch at the wicket, and Azhar running right down on his way to congratulate the wicketkeeper, but the umpire Peter Willey's having nothing of it, so it's 166 for 7. Hold him. That's a very poor shot. It was not short enough, I don't think, for him to play that shot, and he has been bowled.
Yes, the product of a perfectly directed and placed leg spinner, and he succumbs to the pressure of a few runless balls. Lance Klusener out for 6.
And South Africa 166 for 8 now. He takes his guard, and now that Dave Richardson has retired, the oldest man in the side at 37, and in his 17th test match, average of 25, and that splendid 81 that he made against Pakistan just a little while ago when South Africa were on tour helped to win the series. Nearly slipped through. He's going to get lucky runs down to fine leg off the inside edge. Well, the 3 of them.
Simo completely deceived by that one. I'm not sure if it was a googly or more of a top spinner which rushed onto him, but he's smiling.
Yes, that was the toppy, I think, and he doesn't bowl a great many of them, not like Shane Warne. Prefers to bowl the googly, which he really bowls very well, whereas Shane Warne's googly is probably the least effective of his deliveries. And he had the squarest stance I've ever seen in my life. This is going to go for 4. He played it rather well in the end because it climbed on him a little bit, and he rode it rather well.
He plays with very soft hands. And although it comes off the edge of the bat, or the shoulder of the bat rather, it goes away for 4, rather than finding the ball settling in one of the slip's hands or the keeper's hands.
This is that wicket from square on of Lance Klusener, which gives you a good indication of that ball not being nearly short enough for him to play that sort of shot. This has gone high, 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 and is it going to be a catch? It's not. It's going to be 6. I think he might even have caught it, but he's gone over the boundary. That was an unbelievable effort. He never took his eyes off the ball, and he wasn't conscious of where the rope was or where the advertising boards were, for that matter, and he could have done himself a terrible injury. Quite a remarkable catch, but over the boundary.
Quite definitely a top edge here, and their fielder does remarkably well still to catch it. But it was always going to go for 6. No chance of staying in the field of play.
Well, that's Simcox as we know him. A little bit of air from Mushtaq. Was the bait. Simcox took it and dealt with it well.
Vintage Pat Simcox.
He's well in. That doesn't even require a third umpire. Normally direct hits do. In fact, in the old days before the third umpire, direct hit almost was certainly out.
A brilliant bit of fielding, one has to say. You can see here he really wasn't looking to the run, and it sounded as though Pat Simcox called for the run, but Peter Willey in a good position and a great throw, almost looking at one stump.
That's through, and we'll go for 4. It's a good shot.
Excellent stroke, just the sort of thing to get him some confidence as he moved into the 20s. He's now on 23, and it's the sort of way you've got to play a wrist spinner. You can't be too passive. Look at that footwork, super, got back nicely, good balance. That could be the shot of the day. An absolutely superb cover drive after being beaten a couple of times and really unsettled last over. Pat Simcox stands up, hits through the line, and it races away to mid-off.
Again, the advantage of height. Key words from Lee Irvin there was stand up. Look at him, absolutely upright, feet almost together, but the bat perfectly straight through the line of the ball. Simcox has no regard for this man. Whether the ball will get there or not, it's going to be touch and go. It does.
Well, there we go. He was correct in assuming that the first delivery would be a warm-up and would be of half pace, and what a fine way to bring up South Africa's 200. They've faced 370 balls to do it, but look at this. That wasn't a bad delivery at all. It was on a reasonable length, was leaving him, and he just wafted it away with that huge straight bat of his.
There's just no better place to hit the ball than straight. No, he won't get any runs for that because that's evasive action. Oh, he will.
Well, he did take evasive action. It nicked him on the elbow, and it went for 4-leg byes. So the action that he took in smashing the first ball over the bowler's head induced him to go around the wicket for the second one.
Edged and put down again. Well. Waqar Younis is furious and has every right to be. South Africa 205 for 8. Pakistan's fielding has been woeful.
Yes, that one really looped to him at second slip. This was a fine delivery, and once again Mark Boucher playing a loose stroke. It was high, but it looped. It wasn't fast at all. Trying to go with 2 hands when he could have gone with 1, or perhaps turned the hands the other way around, almost like a baseball catcher. And superb effort by Waqar Younis is wasted once again.
He hits firmly up to the long on. Get a run that brings up the 50 partnership.
That's a good one. Again, I think I'm lucky with you, Trevor. I'm getting my second 50 partnership on this commentary.
You better stay on all day from a South African point of view. he pitched up to him, and as it came, he let fly, and there's a big gap there at mid-wicket. A flourish, and it's 4. And that's a beautiful shot. That's 4 runs.
That's a nice shot. Straight up through his bat into it, straight past the bowler. Brilliant shot.
It's all very well saying, well, it was a full toss, but you've still got to place the full toss, and Simcox plays with the full face of the bat there.
Well, that's a great shot. Offered a little bit of width and accepted it with glee.
Mark Boucher is a very gifted player, scores all around the wicket, and he gratefully accepts the short, wideish delivery, smashes it past point for 4.
That's struck away, and that'll get to the boundary. 4 more to Simcox, 4 more to South Africa.
Shorter delivery, Pat Simcox rocking on that back foot, playing a very good back foot drive through that offside field. This partnership will be worrying the Pakistanis now.
And that's why. That was nicely played. He sold him a dummy to start with and then resold it almost. Now I think there might be on the radio. Yeah, already. Cyril Mitchley's got his communications out of his pocket. Good strike there, Kepler.
Excellent shot by Pat Simcox, gives himself some room, hits the ball through the offside against the spin. Difficult thing to understand is that Pakistan, we watch this
shocking delivery. And dealt with adequately by Simcox. Can't ask more than that. Get a full toss, hit it for 4.
Pat Simcox doing what most international batsmen anywhere in the order will do, dispatching very friendly full toss on leg stump to the boundary.
And again, that's beautifully struck. And 50 runs to Pat Simcox. What a year he's having with the bat.
Another valuable contribution by the old warhorse. South Africa has relied on Simcox very heavily as he picks this ball just short of a length out beautifully over the mid-wicket towards the boundary. And Sir Klein continues to struggle. His confidence is not quite there. A delighted Pat Simcox, acknowledging his teammates in the dressing room.
That's hit high, handsome, 2 bounces, 4 runs. What a good over for Pat Simcox and for South Africa.
Simcox coming down the wicket, making sure that the ball clears the inner ring and picks a gap beautifully.
Well, he's hit that cleanly enough. He's not moving. He knows he hit it hard.
Simcox has just taken away the play from Pakistan. Amir Sahal drifting into middle and leg stump, dispatched ruthlessly over mid-wicket by Simcox.
Well, let's have some more of that, said Patrick Simcox. That was a great shot. Wonderful entertainment here from the South African all-rounder.
Beautiful cover drive. That's Simcox's 12th four of the innings. Right from the word go when he came in today, he made his intentions clear. That was to dominate the Pakistani bowlers.
It's beautifully struck away by Boucher. Doesn't it help when you've been at the crease for a while?
Drops it short. Mark Boucher into position very quickly. Boucher is known that he favours the hook shot, plays it very well. On this occasion, executes it perfectly.
He does put back to this one, and it's through the covers for 4 runs.
Valentine's Day crowd having a great deal of fun now. And this is the man who's given them the pleasure. Really been a superb innings by Pat Simcox, and epitomises the fighting spirit of the South Africans.
And that's his 50. Well played, young man.
Unbelievable feeling for this young man. Raises his bat, his team is standing. They know just how valuable the contribution has been, and maybe he'll even get a date tonight.
He deserves it. It's been a splendid innings. 93 balls. He's now batted for over 2.5 hours. And to think that this is only his 19th first-class match in the second test. So South Africa asked to bat by Amir Sohail, and they got off to a reasonable start, although they lost Kirsten just for 3. Baffa and Cullis then put on 42. But South Africa eventually reduced to 95 for 5 and 166 for 8 before this incredible partnership between Mark Boucher and Pat Simcox. Boucher getting his first test 50. Simcox is 4 away from equaling his highest test score. Magnificent partnership of 130 between these two for the 9th wicket. Has rescued South Africa. And once again, it's low order that has had to do it, and that's the telling one. There was a good 53 between Hudson and Pollock, but this 130 has swung things round for South Africa. Tremendous bowling from Waqar Younis, and he was fast. Picked up 3 for 58. Shoaib Akhtar bowled better than maybe his 1 for 68. He bowled some very, very fast deliveries. Azhar was tidy, and little Mushtaq Ahmed 3 for 67, 3 for 66 from 27 overs. He really did bowl very, very well indeed.
Well, a fascinating day's play. 296 for 8. A great part.
Here's the first ball of the day then. Akhtar to Boucher. That was very much a loosener from Shoaib. Well, he certainly played and missed there with Boucher. And the first run of the morning.
Always a relief to get started once you've been in overnight. But just looking at the Pakistan bowling attack, one can't help but feel that Wasim Napkam would have been a very useful addition to this attack. It provides that left-arm variation, and along with Waqar, makes up a formidable opening attack. As we look at Akhtar following through, nice tidy action.
That's well played, and it might go to the fence. He's pulled it through mid-wicket, and it's got enough on it to get there. 4 runs to Boucher.
Very good shot by Mark Boucher. He favours the pull shot. Akhtar not working up the same pace as yesterday. Boucher has no trouble in putting that away.
This is beautifully played. It's 4 runs.
Tremendous shot by Mark Boucher. Ball is well pitched up, swinging away. Just angles that bat. Beautiful square drive.
Moves Boucher to 60. 6 fours and 1 6. Well, that beat him. Good away movement there for Waka.
Fine delivery by Waka Yunus after driving the previous one for 4. Boucher was probably expecting the bouncer, but Yunus bowling the perfect length, swinging it away. Ball was quite there to drive.
Well, he's not afraid to go for his shots this morning, and that's the second pull shot that he's brought off and got 4 runs from. And he ends the over, 311 for 8. I'll take that. Bowl me a few more short ones, and I'll deal with you in that way, and I won't move from the crease. It's 4 runs.
Bowler erring in line this time, whereas previous short deliveries were directed at the body. This one is short and wide, frees up Pat Simcox's arms, and he deals with it beautifully.
So he moves to 81, which equals his highest ever test score. That, of course, he made in Faisalabad against Pakistan, and it played a very big part in South Africa winning that test and the series. Magnificent triumph for South Africa. To win a test series in Pakistan, extremely difficult. They've only lost 5 in something like 26 years at home, and South Africa really did magnificently, and thanks mainly to him, 81 and 55. Now he's going to get a few more here. This is his highest test score as he gets it past the square leg umpire. They won't get 4 runs, they'll get 2. That's enough to move him to 83 and South Africa to 317 for 8 and 150 partnership. Well, he's going to get 4 more runs. He was into position so early there that he actually had to wait for it.
Waka Yunus testing Mark Boucher again. Another short pitch delivery. He's very strong in that area. Wasn't in complete control of that shot, but he still hits it well enough to go for 4.
And he's going to get 4 more. 1 bounce over the wicketkeeper's head, where we saw Andrew Hudson get a boundary like that yesterday, and now Mark Boucher does, and that really will infuriate the Pakistanis, and particularly Waka Yunus.
Mark Boucher being fortunate on that occasion. The ball was...
Short and punished by Simcox. That almost sat up and looked at him. He's hit that so straight, that's sort of wide of it on, that's all.
More humiliation for one of the best fast bowlers in the world. To be pulled so straight as Robin has described is really bad news for him. Normally the speed of the delivery means that the batsman's got to sort of hook it around behind square. Look at that, almost to mid-on. Great shot.
Does, and nearly gets a wicket. Well, I don't want to say I told you so, but it's about time.
say it, Robin, you were right. That was a very good delivery. Mark Boucher has shown that he's now in, and he's not inclined to leave the ball. But look at that late swing, and there it induced the false stroke, and just falling short of Inzamam at first slip. Fine cricket. And hopefully Mark Boucher is going to learn from this and be more careful with that front foot fly.
Again, inducing drive Boucher cross with himself. But that's much better length from Waqar Younis.
Something Robin and I believe should have been concentrated on far more. They've wasted too many deliveries. When you can bowl a ball like that, you can beat the best.
Big appeal. Got a very good stride in Boucher. Very excited appeal from Mahmood.
Always hit him outside off stump as well. And this is the sort of appeal that will cause the umpires to become almost negative, because they realize that they're trying it on. There was never a chance of a decision there. And particularly a man like Cyril Mitchley won't have anything to do with that sort of decision.
Mark Boucher just 4 away now from his highest first-class score, which, strangely enough, was scored against Pakistan only last week. Very timely innings it was too, if the selectors were maybe wondering whether they should stick with him for this test match in the light of David Richardson's retirement. What a good delivery that was. Now, that's like facing a fast leg break.
Yes, they've seen that he's been tempted fairly often outside the off stump, and this was really the perfect delivery. Well, it wasn't perfect because it didn't get the edge, but it could so easily have done so.
That went right through him, and there was an appeal from the bowler, but it wasn't supported behind the stumps. I think it flicked a pad, but that very nearly, I would imagine, bowled him.
That cut back and was a bit quicker than the rest of that over. I think that's what beat Simo. It was a bit quicker.
Yes, and it did come back, and it just hit the back thigh. Now he gets it down to fine leg, and he gets a single. So now he's 3 away from the magic 100. But he's obviously looking a little tentative. He doesn't want to make a mistake at this stage. He's nervous, the nervous 90s. Well, when you're approaching your first test 100 and you're in the 90s for the first time, it is a very worrying time.
Thirsty lemon.
And that's another edge, and it's 1 more run.
One more valuable run, Trevor.
He's got under the skin of the Aussies. He's getting under the skin of the Pakistanis here today, but he's in the hearts of every South African supporter. And the way he's rescued South Africa here again, and he's done it so often, everybody, I'm sure, is willing him and hoping he gets there to that first test 100. There's a chance now because they'll scramble a leg by, which means that he will have strike. In fact, they're going to get 5 leg buys. Well, there's nothing the batsman can do about this situation. Now there's confusion between Simcox and Boucher, because that's 5 runs. Now Simcox should be facing. But surely Simcox should be facing. Well, I think things have gone wrong here. Simcox should be facing, and umpire Mitchley, because they crossed for the initial leg by, then there was a 4 overthrow, so they should be changed around. And I think Sir Hale has brought it to the attention of umpire Mitchley. And now Mitchley's calling Peter Willey over. It's very simple. They ran a leg by, and then there was the 4 overthrows. So they crossed, and they should be changed round. And now umpire Mitchley is going to set things right. Well, extraordinary. Imagine if Boucher had got out when he shouldn't have been facing. But now they've sorted it out. This is how it happened. Shy at the stumps. Now it hits Boucher there, deflects past the man backing up and goes for 4. Now, if it hadn't gone for 4, the batsman out of sportsmanship wouldn't have run. Let's watch Simcox. Does he get his 100? They're looking for it, and he's going to get it. He's got it, and he leaps in the air, and now he holds his bat aloft, first to his teammates in the dressing room, and to the whole of the Wanderers Stadium, and they've come to their feet. Patrick Simcox has made his first Test 100, and how richly deserved. What a moment for Patrick Simcox.
Simo has done well for his team, his teammates supporting him, whole of South Africa is supporting him. This is a brilliant partnership, and they went up to 350 as well.
This is how it happened. He just dropped it down in front of him and set off straight away, and Boucher was coming. He was alert to the moment, was Mark Boucher, and just look at the joy. At 37 years old, Patrick Leonard Simcox scores his first 100. And what an ovation he got. 221 minutes, just 151 balls, and that's some going in Test match cricket when you've come in at 166 for 8, and he's hit 15 fours in a superlative effort. Well, the crowd, as much as to relieve the tension that they've lived through, now trying to get the Mexican wave going. 353 for 8. Well, we keep wondering when will it be the final season for Simcox, but he's a tough old character, and thank goodness he's got a Test 100 before it's all over. What a sight for South Africa. Simcox 100 not out. Boucher 76 not out. 353 for 8. And Simcox now gets 4 runs through the covers. And I think those 4 runs take us to a new world record for the 9th wicket partnership. Well, now he'll be able to play with a lot more freedom now that he's got to his 100.
Went back, cut, straight in the gap. I think he's much more relieved now. Feeling great.
Well, of course, the job isn't finished, and Simcox will know that, and he knows that although suddenly the tension is gone and there's relief, he's got to regroup, gather his concentration, and keep going.
Have other objective changes all the time. The next goal now is to score 200 partnership. 166 for 8, now 357 for 8. 9 runs short for 200 partnership.
Well, he's doing the sensible thing. He's just regrouping by just patting them back to Saqlain Mushtaq. But it doesn't take too long before he said, well, I've had enough of this now. I'm in control, and whack, 4 runs. Didn't quite hit it where he wanted to hit it. So a big milestone for Pat Simcox. And indeed for Boucher, got his first Test 50, and together they now hold the world 9th wicket record. 195, improving by 5 on Asif Iqbal and Intikhab Alam's effort at the Oval against England in 1967. 2 Pakistanis who held it, and now it's been taken away by 2 South Africans against Pakistan.
Yeah, well, it's exciting to see the 10th partnership getting at 166, staying together until close to 200 partnership.
Boucher has been becalmed while all this has been going on. He hasn't scored for half an hour. He's only scored 4 runs, and this might be the end, and it is. So Simcox is eventually out, drained probably from all the excitement. The adrenaline may be gone, and he hits it straight down the throat of mid-on, and Patrick Simcox is out. But what an incredible innings it has been from him, and it has ended quite tamely in the end as he hits it straight down the throat of mid-on off the bowling of Saqlain Mushtaq. And he knows that it was a bit silly. Jonty Rhodes gives him a little high five, and he leaves to a standing ovation. What a moment for the 37-year-old Patrick Leonard Simcox. His dad, who played many years for Griquas, well, I'm sure he's a very proud man. And South Africa now 361 for 9. This is how Patrick Simcox's innings ended, trying to pull Saqlain Mushtaq, but straight into the hands of mid-on. Miscued it. Whipped away by Boucher. There's 2 men back there because he's shown a tendency to want to hook, and he's racing back for the second. I think he might just have made it. Umpire Peter Willey is going to ask Dave Orchard, the 3rd umpire, to adjudicate on this one, but I think he is probably home. It was a good return, came in very fast and flat. And Boucher is a young man, he's 21 years old, he's pretty fast. Unfortunately, Keeper Moyen Khan had to fetch it from a long way, and by the time he got to the stumps to break, he was home. So 2 more runs to Boucher, he's 78.
Accumulates, this is in the air though, and out. So the end of an innings that Mark Boucher will be very proud of. His predecessor sitting next to me. Your thoughts on that innings, David?
Well, I think it's marvellous. To play only your 2nd innings in Test cricket, coming in a situation where we were plenty of wickets down for very few runs, and he's done remarkably well. He was the foil for Pat Simcox this morning while Pat was really going on with it. He just kept his head, and there, unfortunately, dismissed by, again, I think the top spinner, which just bounces on you more than you expect and goes away from you, as opposed to the off spinner, which turns into you. And that is really risky, trying to play the sweep to the top spinner. The trouble is, it's very difficult to see which is bowling off or top spinner.
So Boucher out for 78, and South Africa all out 364. As we look at the last wicket to fall, that of Mark Boucher for 78. sweeping Sir Clain, back of the bat almost, and a comfortable catch for short fine leg.
Amazing to see how he bowls that top spinner of his. It's almost impossible to read as a batsman. If you're watching television in slow motion, you can perhaps see that the ball is coming out slightly differently. His angle of his wrist is slightly different. But it's a nightmare trying to face him, especially in a one-day game where you've got to get after him.
So there's a South African scorecard from the first innings of his first test at the Wanderers of the 3-test series. Asked to bat first, remember, by the Pakistan captain, Sohail, and it looked for a while as if it wasn't such a bad decision. 68 for 2 at the luncheon interval, 2 out, Kirsten and Cullis. Kirsten got quite a nasty delivery. The hit shoulder of the bat went to gully. Cullis, a little bit of indiscretion in selection of the shot, the hook shot from way outside off stump. And then within half an hour after lunch, both Bucker and Cullinan were back in the pavilion, and it took a bit of a partnership with Hudson and Pollock to try and put things right. In the meantime, Gibbs was out LBW to Mushtaq. Both Pollock and Hudson were dropped on 113 and 114 respectively, team score-wise. So South Africa, where it could have been an awful lot of trouble at 114 for 7, but as it was only 5 down. They were still in the Dwang at 170 odd for 8 until that fantastic partnership, which we will reveal all in a moment. There it is, down the bottom there, 195, a world record partnership in Test cricket. They've been playing Test cricket for quite a few years. Mark Boucher and Pat Simcox got South Africa out of what was a very big hole indeed, and into a position from where they can push for victory. 3 wickets to Wacker, 3 wickets to Mushtaq, 2 to Sir Clain in the end, who didn't bowl as well as I've seen him bowl. Mid-off, no mid-on, forward short leg and a fine leg, and this is Alan Donald. So we'll call Pakistan off the mark. Confirmation of the no ball, it's a big one. And there's the little flap outside the off stump. That's nerves more than anything else. He knows he should have left it, but a lot of adrenaline pumping through him right now. Not a nice time to come into bat.
It'd be so nice if you were in control of your actions all the time, but it's just impossible.
Nicely fielded in the gully, and the end of the first over. Pakistan 1 for no wicket. Fielded.
Herschel Gibbs is exceptionally quick off the mark. It's a nightmare trying to mark him in touch rugby games. Yeah, a little bit tentative there again.
Herschel Gibbs in an unfamiliar position, in fact. Slip, or gully, rather.
Perfect line and length. Notice the batsman not having the opportunity to really go forward at all. He's content at this stage with Allen's pace just to play off the back foot, and if it's really up, he'll never go at it.
That's 4 runs. He likes to play that shot, and the South Africans won't be too sad seeing him play it, because there are 4 slips and 2 gullies.
Yes, he loves the cut, and that one didn't bounce very high, and I think Sean Pollock will exploit the extra bounce coming from the Corlett drive in very shortly. Good position there, and no man back at third man, so no problem.
And this will be 4 more, but this wasn't as well controlled. It was a more edgy shot. But again, it beats that cordon of men there. going between fourth slip and gully.
Genuine outside edge, good ball, and beating the field. From the other end, Sean Pollock, hands high, seeing good, just getting the outside edge. Well kept down by the batsman.
Is he caught this time? I think he is. He's out. Up goes the finger of umpire Cyril Mitchley. Well, he had a waft at one earlier, which he missed. This time, I think it might have just brushed a glove. And a nice catch by Mark Boucher, his first victim in Test cricket.
Agility shown, but look at the delivery, whether it hit the leg or the glove. Watch here, umpire Mitchley decided it hit the glove. It looked as though it hit this shirt. Well taken by Mark Boucher, but rather a fortunate dismissal by Sean Pollock.
So the Pakistan captain, Emir Sohail, is out, caught behind off the bowling of Pollock for 12, and Pakistan are 15 for 1. The new batsman is Ijaz, and this is why. Now, what did that hit? The umpire Mitchley believes that it brushed the gloves. Good bit of wicket keeping, and what do we see there? Was it the gloves or was it the shirt?
Extremely difficult because the hands and the gloves were covering the ball.
This is caught, no doubt about that. And Alan Donald has got another one, and it is Syed Anwar who is out, caught in the slips, and suddenly Pakistan are 15 for 2, and Anwar has gone.
Great delivery by Alan Donald, forcing the batsman to play as it left him. Left-hander's traditional weakness being exploited to the full. Thick edge and a good catch by Daryl Cullinan at first slip.
Straight to the first slip, and Syed Anwar gone for 2. Well caught by Cullinan of Donald, and it's 15 for 2. New batsman is Mohammad Wasim, playing in his 7th Test match. That's the wicket of Syed Anwar. Well caught by Daryl Cullinan, deep at first slip, but it flew off the bat, and he took it very well. Donald steams in now to the new batsman. He lets it go.
No ball called. Peter Willey, Alan Donald really fired up. We knew they would be after that inspiring batting from Pat Simcox and Boucher. And this young man here is facing a storm. Only 20 years old, of course. He's been able to average 28.7 so far.
He has got that 1 Test century to his name, though, against New Zealand. Past the short leg gully runs to retrieve, and Mohammad Wasim's off the mark. And Alan Donald, with that dismissal of Syed Anwar, has now equalled Trevor Goddard's record of 27 Test wickets here at the Wanderers. Trevor Goddard, he was a wonderful all-rounder, left arm medium pace, left-handed batsman. And Ijaz Ahmed hasn't faced the ball yet. He's now about to face Alan Donald. Experienced man playing his 43rd Test match. Over 2,000 runs, an average of 39. This is going to be 4 byes.
One not carrying as much as Mark Boucher had expected, and it's amazing just how many gaps the ball can find. The ball sort of just leaving him all the way through.
Well, this is how he plays. It was short and wide, and he just lashed out at it and smashed it to the boundary. for 4, 25 for 2. This is Pollock again. And an appeal for LBW here. He turned him pretty square. I think the height might have saved him.
Oh, that was a good delivery. Cyril Mitchley always can.
Just working it through the onside for 4.
That's upish, but just through the gap between gully and third slip. Closes the over off at 36 for 2. That's a big appeal now. The last shout had height on it, that's why Cyril Mitchley gave it in. Certainly straight, but very high. Have a look at this one.
Idris Ahmed having all sorts of problems, getting himself in another tangle as he goes right across. Oh, benefit of the doubt, possibly going over the stumps. With a side on view. Just going over the stumps.
Played like this in Pakistan, but he got so far over to off stump, didn't know where his wickets were. That's another good delivery. Actually almost feel that it isn't worthwhile having a leg slip or a leg gully, because if he makes contact with the bat, it's got to go on the onside.
Well, just looking at Ijaz's head, it's going so far over that he's giving himself no chance of making contact with the ball, and his balance is incredibly bad on this occasion.
Well, nobody saw that, especially Alan Donald down at fine leg. 4 runs to Ijaz.
Pollock digging it in short. Ijaz in no control of that hook shot, but unfortunately Alan Donald on the boundary unsighted. He just gets a fortunate 4 runs.
Look at Alan Donald here. Tell me where it is, lads. Oh, there it is. The over 40 for 2, Pakistan. Just straying leg stump and a little full. Nice timing from Wasim. And good fielding from a man who's just bowled 6 overs.
What a magnificent athlete Alan Donald is. He's so flexible, and after his spell of 7 overs, he gets down there so quickly as we watch Kuzma straight onto leg stump. Wasn't very strong in that area. Takes full toll.
Not perfectly timed, just got a bit big on him, but hit it hard enough for 4. So Wasim moves into the 20s.
Sean Pollock testing out Wasim. Gets onto that well enough. There's no mid-on fielder, so he places it very well. Wasim has come in and he's certainly been prepared to get into line. Very, very strong onside player.
And that's away for 4. It was just a bit too short and wide, so there was width there for the batsman to swing the bat, and he cracked it away back to the square for 4. And this is in the air, and it's 4 runs. Well, you just said it, Dave, and it flies over the slips. For 4, 66 for 2. he got hold of that one, 4 runs. He was quickly into position for that short delivery from Kallis, and he's hammered it in front of square for 4.
Beautiful shot from Ejad. He's played some incredible one-day innings, and he must have a fantastic eye. So his weight perfectly positioned and right in front of square.
Lance Klusener from the golf course end to Wazim. Drives handsomely, 4 runs.
Over pitch from Lance. He has a tendency to be either too lengths, either too short or slightly too full. If you could just hit that in-between length more often, it's far more effective.
And this is 4 more, past Patson, Cox in the gully. Too wide, I think, is what Simplocks is saying to Klusener.
The ball was too wide, and it was too wide of him. It really flashed past him, and even when you're at your freshest, those are difficult to catch. But having scored 100, I'm sure that he's a little bit tired, and his reflexes won't be as sharp as they would have been in the first over this match.
It's a nice bit of a way swing there for Klusener.
And when you start them wide, they just swing a little bit more.
And that's 4 more. Over pitching again, and this time he hits him to mid-on for 4.
It's good batting because at this level, anything that's over pitched, you've got to take advantage of. Graham Pollock told us at a training camp not so long ago that you've got to be a good batsman, just take.
Well, that's 4 more. They really are throwing the bat at it now. The way they're playing, one would have thought they were 287 for 2, not 87 for 2.
And that's why they are so great to watch. Wide ball from Jacques Kallis, and he gives it the full treatment.
It has to be said, Dave, that as you said a moment ago, that these 2 bowlers, Klusener and Kallis, are not getting it right at the moment. Oh, is he caught? He must be. Yes. That one really was a very fast, short delivery, and Wazim spotted it, and Boucher took the catch above his head, and South Africa have made another breakthrough. 87 for 3.
That's Lance Klusener at his best. Short, fast, well directed, and involuntarily his hands come up and it just brushes the gloves. It goes through to Mark Boucher.
Well, Wazim had really played some tremendous shots. Look at that, 8 fours, and he's 44 coming from just 44 balls. After Pakistan had plunged to 15 for 2. It was a splendid innings in many ways, but it ended with a very fast delivery from Klusener, and it's left Pakistan 87 for 3. Lance Klusener, having gone for 21 in his 4 overs, comes back for his 5th and makes one really rare at Wazim, and he gets a brush on the way through to Boucher, who's a short man, had to take this way above his head, but this was a very fast delivery.
It was very well directed as well. Didn't give the batsman any room to get out of the way, and once it got big on him like that, he just had no time to drop his hands. And as a result, touches his gloves, and Pakistan are 3 wickets down. Inzamam coming to the wicket, but after that, well, you never know.
This is a fine batsman. It's gone to the top of the Coopers and Lansbury ratings, the #1 batsman in the world, and Inzamam is very experienced, very capable, lovely shot maker. Only 27 years old, and he seems to have been around for a long time. And you see their test average of 48 and approaching 3,000 runs now in test match cricket.
And there's another example. What a magnificent stroke.
Beautiful shot. Went up the front foot, cracked it in between the covers. I must say, Ijaz, whilst he's not comfortable, prepared to play his shots, he's doing well.
Really gives it everything. It's a full delivery. The weight's a little bit back. Left foot could have been a bit further out to be perfect, but who cares? Uh-oh, there's fun here. Inzamam looking to get off the mark.
Two of the most experienced players of Pakistan together. I'm sure they're going to consolidate after they lost the wicket.
Capable of playing innings of the highest class. Inzamam-ul-Haq, big man, but limited footwork. Out! That footwork was a bit too limited. Klusener gets it full and rips the off stump out of the ground. And what a wonderful breakthrough for South Africa. And now Pakistan in a little disarray.
Definitely in disarray. Again, before he gets one off the mark, didn't go across, played the wrong line, bowled off stump down. That is good bowling from Klusener. 1-2 short ball, bring it up to him. Can't get a top class bat to settle down, and he's done well for South Africa.
A really useful delivery that just held its own a little bit. And there's the dreaded, very miserable looking duck. And a disappointed Inzamam-ul-Haq. Sorry about the rhyme. 91 for 4. So Pakistan now have got a problem. 91 for 4. And to say the beginning of the tail's a little unfair, but why does a batsman of this class miss a delivery like that? I think we might be able to see on the next slow motion we see. Watch this, ball's angled in. He's got every right to think that it's going to keep coming on that line. It doesn't, just holds its line. Beautiful delivery. Limited footwork, but that's how he plays. It was the fact that the ball held up that bowled him out. Moeen Khan, experienced Test cricketer, 33 matches. Had a wonderful series against South Africa with the bat in a couple of years ago, or last year rather, at home, his home in Pakistan. Is this dismissal again? Angled in, holds its own. Al Sidhi. A nervous push from Moeen Khan.
Klusener's played is up. He's certainly running in now. He knows he's on top. Look at that ball, first one. Outside off stump, he's prodding in. Missed it. His tail is real up. He's trying everything to say, I'm on top. I want to show you I'm on top.
One more look at Inzamam's wicket from a very different angle. But that sight of the off stump is pleasant wherever it's from for Klusener. Rather showed that bouncer, I felt, went wide of the crease, got chest open. I think Moeen Khan was virtually ducking almost before the ball was delivered. One 44 kilometres an hour. Last Klusener's been in and around there for most of this spell. Really wholehearted cricket. I love watching him play. Another nervous little dab at the ball from Moeen Khan. almost nothing right about that shot. There's Mark Boucher, a bit of a problem in stopping it. Moin Khan down the pitch, trying to find... He felt that the ball didn't bounce as much as it should have done, and he's down there looking at the areas. And he can, a little shake of the head as if to say, how can I bat on here? Oh, a ball. Wonderful over, 91 for 4. Now, players are going off the field. Whether it's actually started raining, it must have just been in the air for them to leave the field. The quicker they get out of here, the better. It gives the groundsman chance to get the square covered before the major section of the rain actually hits. And there's Pakistan's reply to South Africa's 364, courtesy Boucher and Simcox. And then Donald and Pollock first to strike, and then Klusener a double strike in successive overs. So a lot to do, Pakistan. Ijaz not out 24. Moin Khan only just come in yet to get off the mark. And they're the bowling figures. 7 overs for Donald, 8 for Pollock, 6 for Klusener. Tallis has done a tidy little job up the other end, although...
Well, unfortunately...
Immediately he starts with a very, very good delivery that just swung away a little bit from the batsman Moin Khan.
Gary Kirsten was saying, and quite rightly so, the bowlers have got to get into the right position. This is the sort of thing they need.
Down to Feinling it goes for the single. Very noticeable there how he moved across and in front of his stumps, which he's prone to do, particularly early on in his innings, and that's why he's a great candidate for LBW, and Sean Pollock has got him several times. And that's going to be 4 runs between the backward point Herschel Gibbs and the gully in Simcox, and Moin Khan quite happy to lay bat on that.
So once again, he's not moving very far forward in front of the crease, but is prepared to flash with the arms more than anything else. Got an outside edge, and it, luckily for him, flew into the gap for a boundary.
Up in the air and caught. Well, they'd set the trap, and he fell straight into it. Early on the 3rd morning. That is poor cricket from Ijaz. Nice catch down there on the boundary from Sean Pollock, and Alan Donald has got his 2nd wicket, and Pakistan are 112 for 5.
Great bit of strategy this by the South Africans. You knew Alan Donald was going to put something extra in when he was bowling to the better batsman Ijaz. Sean Pollock judged this to perfection and takes a great catch.
Well, that was really a silly shot, and one that Pakistan could ill afford at this stage. And Ijaz out for 34, adding just 1 to his overnight situation, and Pakistan having added just 4 runs, or 6 runs rather, to their overnight situation, have lost their 5th wicket. 1-1-2 for 5. Azhar Mahmood is the new batsman. A man who made a century on debut, and it was against South Africa in Rawalpindi, 128 not out, and then he made 50 not out in the 2nd innings, and only Pakistan ever to make a century and a 50 on debut. This is into the cover point area. Gibbs is after it. They get 1 and they think of a 2nd, but Gibbs is so fast, and wisely Khan says no.
Well, this is such a benefit to the bowler. He really moves across the field.
Oh, he's dropped him. 3rd slip. And they're going to get 2 runs. Well, Donald drawing Khan into the drive there, and it found the outside edge, flew above the head of 3rd slip, and hands on it, but down it went.
Andrew Hudson, the unlucky man, it was high, it was flying with incredible speed. He got two hands to it, two good hands to it, but ultimately frustration for Alan Donald.
Yes, if only he could have pushed it up, which very nearly happened. You see, he gets both hands there. It could have gone straight up in the air and he might have had a second bite at it, or the second slip alongside he might have been able to grab it. Heel for LBW here. I think that might have dragged back enough to go down leg side.
So much movement from Alan Donald. Almost unplayable. Look at that. He's late on it, and it's going to beat leg and also possibly going too high.
Driven very well indeed, and this is 4 runs. It was up to him, and this time he got it all right. There's only one man in front of the wickets on the offside in the covers, the captain Gary Kirsten, and that was through for 4. 121 for 5. Pakistan have still got some way to go to avoid the follow-on. And this will help. It's 4 runs down to third man. As I was saying a moment ago, there is no third man. Very attacking field, 3 slips in a gully. So if you can control it and get it through the gap between third slip and gully, you're going to get 4.
Well, once again, bowler achieving the outside edge of the bat. Look at that. So close to a fine nick. But in the end, he has to be credited with keeping the ball down and pushing it into the gap.
Mahmood is now 4 not out of that shot. Mohan Khan after that lovely cover drive is 18. And this is going to be 4 more. It was short from Pollock, and Mahmood played the pull shot very well.
I think Sean Pollock showing the frustration of conceding the boundary on the previous delivery. Tried the short one. It was the first one. It's exploratory, really. Didn't get it up high enough. And certainly Mahmood had almost a gift for 4. Hit it well, though.
Yes, they're going for their shots. And he brought this one off very well indeed. This is into the covers. Gibbs is after it. They'll think of a second. There's hesitation here, and he'll make it. Not the best of throws this time from Gibbs, down to the bowler's end.
Well, watch how he hesitates as well. He was going to throw to the keeper. Somebody must have shouted to him, throw to the bowler's end. He wasn't balanced, and that was why there was no real power in the throw.
Oh, and he's got that between first slip and the keeper, and it rattles into the sponsors' signs down at the bottom end of the ground. Brilliant spell this from Donald.
Just beating for pace there. Beats everybody for pace. Just a bit too high for first slip and keeper to get a glove or a hand to.
Cut away. That's his 5th 4.
This is almost exactly how he played in Pakistan last time South Africa played him. Just anything wide, he just has a full go at. And he's also got a very good eye.
That's hit him on the head. And the quick bowler's grin.
He's indicating that he's all right, but no batsman likes to be hit like that. He's going to have to stun him just a little bit. Just a little bit too quick for him, and he threw him before he can get the bat anywhere near him.
That's beautiful bowling. Beautiful bowling.
Brisner with a wry smile on his face. He gets this ball pretty close to off stump, forcing Mohan Khan to play at it.
Driven. That was the temptation, you see, and it's exactly what Kepler Wessels was talking about. Mohan Khan lost his patience, but he got away with it.
Mohan Khan slashing at a wide delivery. No control over the shot whatsoever. No third man in place. It finds the gap between gully and third slip. Very frustrating for Lance Kloosner.
Simo, the missing link. Oh, well, I think he left it alone. Give the batsman a bit of benefit there.
Beautiful delivery. Jacques Kallis getting some swing and bounce. Mahmood read it well enough. Was going to have a flirt at it, but let it go at the last minute.
That's 4 more. Down through the hole there. Well bowled, but 4 runs.
From a batting point of view, an absolute pleasure batting without a third man. Batsman is beaten on that occasion. If the ball flies off the outside edge through that vacant area, it does take pressure off. But again, a fine delivery.
That's not so much bad luck. That the ball's gone for 4. That's just a bit too wide. Kallis can't expect to bowl that wide and get away with it, because you can hit at that as hard as you like. It's going to take a lot of catching, even if you nicked it. As it was, he got quite a lot of bat on it.
Call it drive end. Well done, Mark Boucher. He might not realise just how important that might turn out to be. It's quite interesting, both these batsmen have been at the same ends for 9 overs now. Though some runs have been scored. Mahmood hasn't faced Kloosner, and Moeen Khan hasn't faced Kallis.
As a batsman, it's always better when you can work together with your partner and rotate the strike.
Well, that's the kitchen sink. Went fairly high. Donald's he's taking it with him. Bad luck. 10 out of 10 for effort. 0 out of 10 for result.
Azhar Mahmood playing the bat at a wide delivery. The boundary that he gets in that fashion. Alan Donald making every attempt to prevent that. That carries Pakistan past the follow-on.
It's in the air. And now we're seeing a little bit of Azhar Mahmood in terms of how dangerous he can be. He does hit with a very, very straight bat. That you have to give him credit for. The ball deviates and gets past the outside edge. So well and good, but look how straight that bat was. Okay. Good start from the old man.
Kloosner again outside off stump. There's so many balls being played square to the wicket by the 2 Pakistani batsmen. Patrick Simcox in the gully making some ground to cut this one off.
Two for 4. Good cover point. It was in the air a little bit, but there's only one man in front of square on the offside, and he's a good deal straighter, so that's 4 runs for Moeen Khan. Donald in the corner drive end, and take that. It's an extraordinary shot from Mahmood. Not going to reach the boundary. They'll get only 2 runs for it.
That wasn't that short, and he certainly got a lot of bat onto it. Hit it a lot higher than he probably would have liked, and so it didn't go for 4. But he's got an exceptional eye, and he hits the ball very cleanly.
He's now rushing round the boundary at backward square leg, and he gets there, saves the 4, and they take 2.
Donald going down leg side, but again a clean hit of the ball.
That's 4 more runs, you see, and that's what happens. Play, miss, bang, 4 runs.
Some batsmen just seem to have the knack of doing that a lot, and the difference between in form and out of form is whether they're playing and missing or not, or whether they're missing it. I remember Kenny McKeown used to be a tough batsman who didn't play and miss that much. He tended to, if he did flash, he either hit it before or he nicked it.
I often say you've got to be good enough to get a nick. 8 fours now, and he's 39. That's almost 2 hours. Oh, a bit more good fortune. Off the inside edge, and so nearly onto the stumps.
What is very good of Moeen Khan, though, is that he's able to not be troubled by the fact that he has played and missed or he's had a bit of misfortune. He just seems to be able to keep his concentration and keep battling away.
Oh, he's dropped. Wicket-keeper Boucher went across first slip there, looking for that one, and he got a glove on it, but couldn't hold on to it, and Moeen Khan has had a life.
Beautiful bowling by Lance Klusener. Gets the outside edge. Has to go a long way towards the slip there. Maybe he'll look back on it later tonight and think, why didn't I leave it for Darrell?
Yes, it's a difficult one for the keeper because you react instinctively in a way, and once you start going for it, you've got to keep going, because if you pull out, that's even worse for the slip. This will be 4 more runs. It was a bad ball, and it slipped down the leg side. It was poorly. Just had to get something on that, or was going to go for 4, and it's now 190 for 5. Goodness me. Another one goes flying over the slips for 4 runs. They've brought up the 3rd man because Moeen Khan has been playing and missing, and they've brought up the 3rd man into a 2nd gully or 4th slip position, and this one flies over the heads of the slips.
Well, you can't describe it any other way than to say that it is very, very frustrating. Gary Kirsten, for everyone really on the South African point of view.
Enough, another 4 runs, this time over the wicket-keeper's head. Oh, dear me.
Well, as batsmen, sometimes you can even start to feel a little bit embarrassed.
And look at that now, back over the bowler's head. Not going to go for 4 because he didn't hit it well enough, but they'll be able to get 3. Quite amazing how the runs are coming. 203 for 5.
Another good shot, straight down the ground. That might go the whole way. Sounded better contact. No. Good chasing from the South African captain.
Well, this has always been the worry, that these batsmen have lived dangerously and they've taken enormous chances. They've been unsettled, and yet now they play strokes like this. Mahmood goes on to 52. He's got an impressive average in Test so far.
Smashed through the covers. Certainly when the ball is semblance up there. There's no hanging back.
Well, you know, they're not even trying to get into line. They're not even trying to get their foot to the ball. All they do is they stay in position and throw the arms at it. And they've been connecting reasonably well. Flamboyance is the name of the game here, and a huge frustration for the bowlers.
Oh, that brings Donald to his knees, and I don't blame him. He's taken the fielder out of the ring. Whether it would have gone to him or not is up for debate. But look at this.
Look how happy he is, and he's got a right to be. Look at that. Nowhere near the ball. Shocking defence, and yet he gets 4 runs for it. I don't blame Alan Donald for sinking to his knees in frustration.
Alan Donald looks as if he is leaving the field, and that gives Gary Kirsten a real problem. We were discussing, I was discussing with Kepler Wessels before the last call that the fourth bowler, the all-rounder Macmillan, is missing at the moment.
Sure, and particularly because Jacques Kallis wasn't too impressive in his spell. Always happy to be on the field, automatically into his position at backward point.
Now, that's interesting. We discussed this morning that third man could easily be an attacking position as opposed to just the defensive one. And it's happened. Almost inevitably somehow, I don't know.
Well, Herschel Gibbs had been moved out of that exact position where John T. Rhodes moved in and down to third man, and at last one of the edges has gone to hand. This was a little bit wide, as predicted. He would go for it, he did, and this time the ball flew unerringly to the man at back with third man. Takes it nice and comfortably, good captaincy there, and great happiness for Lance Bull.
And out for 46, not the greatest innings, I don't think, that he's ever played. 219, now for 6.
Here's a new batsman. He's a record holder, remember, but one would like to see him on these Bouncy Wanderers wickets. 21 years of age, isn't that amazing? And such a good bowler.
That will be out down the leg side. No, Peter Willie says no. Klusner's furious. Bouncy wasn't too happy either.
Well, from first look, I was convinced he nicked that. So, 1 against Pakistan and 1 for. We'll see again. We'll predict whether we're right. In the meantime, 219 for 6.
Well, let's have another look. Might well have been up on the arm there, Lee.
Yes, it could have been. There was certainly something that was touched. And umpire Peter Willie giving the batsman the benefit of the doubt, and it could have been correctly so. Well, yeah, could have been arm, might have been glove, probably arm.
Oh! Archer fails to gather that. By signal. To retire the young man. I think he's kept wicket against this sort of pace before, down on the border there.
Well, look at the movement. After it pitched, it's going down leg again, but he's not anticipating it, and that's why he's dropping the odd one. It was always going away from him, but he's soon learning that wicket keeping takes 100% concentration.
That's a beautiful stroke. That's as good a shot as he played all day.
Yes, this one was superb. It was timed well. It chose the gap. Over-pitched by Jacques Kallis, and another 4 accrues to the Pakistani score. They're now on to 226 for 6.
Quite interesting. Pat Simcox hasn't bowled at all.
Another edge, well stopped. Klusner, the man in question.
Saklan angling the bat, looking for the gap past third slip.
Oh, what a fantastic delivery, albeit that it was illegal.
Sean Pollock overstepping. A magnificent delivery, some away swing, and extra bounce. I know that watching Sean Pollock running in again.
Oh, another fantastic delivery.
Wonderful delivery by Sean Pollock. He's been swinging the ball away. This time he hits the seam and nips it back. Saklan Mushtaq, everything but comfortable.
It's well fielded. It's very well fielded.
Good piece of fielding by Adam Bacher. Good reactions there.
34 adrift. That's a super delivery, outside edge at last. Cullis strikes. Boucher's a happy boy. 230 for 7.
Jacques Cullis be getting enough balls in the right area. Saklan doesn't cover, presents an angled bat. And Boucher gleefully accepts a relatively simple opportunity with touch of relief when that ball was safely in the gloves.
Saklan Mushtaq out for 2 of 39 deliveries, 230 for 7. Last year.
Looking at the dismissal again, good delivery, moving away from the right-hander. Boucher catching the ball on the inside, good keeper should. Mushtaq will be having one eye on the scoreboard. There's 10 overs to go before the new ball is taken.
He got away with that. That was not a good delivery. It's early days though. A chance to warm up, but Mushy missed out on 4 runs here. Oh, okay. You're going to land it there. I'm going to hit you there. Now that might bring about a field change straight away.
Predictable tactics by Mushtaq and by Pakistan. As we said before, there's 9 overs before the next new ball is taken. In their best interest, try and get as many runs in this period as possible, particularly off the spinner Patson Cox.
Immediately Klusner goes into that hole where the ball went. Kirsten comes out of silly point and goes over to the position that I indicated with a cross just now on the drive on the onside. Oh, well bowled. Not enough from the keeper there to be convincing.
Good delivery from Patson Cox, goes straight on with the arm, reminiscent of Saklan Mushtaq.
Bunted away for 4. That was pretty good timing.
Mamou just cramped for space. Nevertheless, it's a short arm jab off his hip. It's a pretty well down to square leg.
Again, just that width. As soon as the width's presented, doesn't matter if it's swinging, he hits through it, and he hits through it hard. What a shot. End of the over, 243 for 7.
And Mushtaq opens his shoulders again, and he's got 4 more. That was a full toss. Well, he certainly made it into a full toss by coming down the wicket to Simcox.
A couple of comments, although they are smiling after that shot, but it was really a gift. He used his feet nicely, didn't he? And now he chooses to drop. Even though there are 2 men out.
And the third man for the single. And that brings up the 250. Changes quite dramatically for Mushtaq Ahmed, the third man who's just fielded that one, comes up into the slip cordon. Field for LBW, and going round the wicket is maybe the reason why he doesn't get it. We'll have to see. Did that pitch outside leg stump?
Well, logic would have it that it must have pitched outside leg stump. He's really bowling from quite wide, and for him to hit the stumps, it has to do that, particularly when pitched low. That's quite close. In fact, extremely close.
Well, there's no doubt it would have hit the stumps. And the little doubt as to whether that did pitch outside leg stump or not has been given to the batsman by umpire Peter Willey. Down he comes, and he's hit this in the air. Is he caught? Oh, he's dropped him. And he had a couple of grabs at it, did Alan Donald, and he's dropped him.
Alan Donald, one of the better outfielders in the world, has spilled a chance, perhaps concentrating a little on what might be coming soon, his spell, and 2 or 3 goes, and then down it hits the ground.
Gary Kirsten, South Africa's new captain, standing in for Hansu Cronje after his knee operation, and Gary's had a frustrating day. Caught! And Mushtaq eventually goes. He lived pretty dangerously, dropped in the last over by Donald of Simcox, but now he is caught in the slip cordon. There were 4 men waiting for that, and when it came, they held it, and Pakistan have now lost their 8th wicket. 255 for 8. Jacques Kallis, the man who gets the wicket as Mushtaq drives, and Gary Kirsten, the captain, grabs it at 4th slip. And so Mushtaq out for 10, Pakistan 255 for 8.
Well, the Pakistan is 255 for 8, and Waqar Younis he won't be facing because it's the end of the over. Pat Simcox will be bowling the 80th of the wicket.
Now he's hit through the covers is Simcox, and that'll be 4 runs. He gave it a bit of air, but also there was width there, and Mahmood took advantage.
Yes, well, South Africans will know by now just how devastating this batsman has been when anything has been pitched wide. So that was almost a hit.
Gary Kirsten now does put himself into 3rd slip, where he's just caught Mushtaq Ahmed off the bowling of Kallis, and he's moved his mid-on across to where he was at mid-off, and he's taken Bacher and pushed him back to mid-wicket. I know Mahmood is facing, but still. He's one of the world's great fast bowlers in action, Alan Donald, and well, short leg wouldn't have caught that, but it's just an indication with a new ball and at his pace, there's no reason why he shouldn't have a man in there at short leg. That, in fact, fell, and a silly point would have been in business.
Look at that. He had no idea where the ball was or where it was going, and no chance, but very bad luck for Alan Donald.
And this might go to for 4. It does indeed. Gone too fine for the man down there to cut it off, and I think is it 4 runs? Leg bars, 4 leg bars. The foot have came off the 5 pad.
movement from Alan Donald, nearly getting the edge of the bat.
That's beautifully hit and brilliantly fielded. Wonderful cricket all round. A quick bowler over pitches, driven solidly by Mahmood, and great fielding from the South African captain. Test match cricket at its best.
Captain Chaos as they're calling him at the moment. And pulls up a great stop.
That's a fairly agricultural stroke. So I want to cut it down to 2 if I can. Oh, now, direct hit. I think Mr. Mahmood would have kept running.
That's all Waka trying to get away from the bowling. Going for a third, which wasn't really on.
Well,
Allen should have tried to catch it.
You're right, David. Had he caught it and taken them off, a split second that goes through your mind, it's hitting, and you end up getting hit on a shin bone or something like that. And down again. None of these chances are straightforward. None of them are that simple. They're just not getting caught.
Almost the element of the unexpected there. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, how the seconds did it get to me?
Well, this chap's latest about every shot in the book. That one I haven't seen too often. The toe in.
Well, it's been an incredible day.
Amazing. Hit hard into a vacant area. It's a consideration that Gary Kirsten has actually got to give to this field. Can't over-attack. He doesn't want suddenly 25 runs coming in a flurry here and that lead getting cut down. For Waka Younis, he's going to have to get a mid-on in there, maybe a mid-wicket and 2 slips and hope he nicks it fine. And he's hit that so sweetly, right between the two. Good fielding again from the South Africans on the boundary. Beautiful throw, good combination. But for a moment, that looked like 4. Well done, Adam Bacher.
The shot in itself is an amazing cricket shot. Not much of a bat lift, and he just swivels on the right leg. He actually hits it with great power down there, and Adam Bacher does very well. In fact, it may just be 4.
There it is. Well played, young man. Well done. His second 100 against South Africa in as many test matches. And this crowd here at the Wanderers, as well as his batting partner Younis, congratulate him warmly, and rightly so.
I love the way they acknowledge somebody at the end of their centuries. Nice to see. But really, he does look as if he's enjoying his cricket, whether he's bowling or fielding. He doesn't take a backward step. He let Pat Simcox know exactly where he was when he was bowling the other day.
And that's carved over cover by Waka Younis. Anything up there, the blade of the bat goes at it.
going to be, I think, 4 more runs, yes. And Alan Donald feeling very aggrieved. He's doing the right thing in lashing out the way he is now. Riding his luck. He's got his 100, and 8 wickets are down. He doesn't know how long Waka Yunus and then Akhtar can stay with him. So he's going to make Mary Wadi here. And this is hammered up into the air. There's a man trying to get underneath it. It'll be a brilliant catch if he takes it, which he does. Very, very good catch indeed by Andrew Hudson. And Waka Yunus is out for 10. That went very high, and Hudson had quite some distance to run with the ball coming over his head. A brilliant catch in the end.
That was a really brilliant catch, to go over your shoulder, watch your ball right over. Just watch it, there it goes. Running back towards the ball. Watching the ball all the time, right into his hand. Well taken, great catch that.
Lovely camera work too, and a very good catch. It hit low down on Waka Yunus's bat. That's why it went up and up like that, and he's gone for 10 to 96 for 9. Akhtar, young man at 22, we're impressed with his fast bowling, playing in only his 2nd Test match. Beautiful away swinger there from Klusner, goes past the outside edge, which means that Mahmood will keep strike. 297 for 9. Now, umpires a moment ago getting on to the walkie-talkies, and I think it is to ask them to put the lights on. Oh, enough. Well, that really was a nasty blow. I think he might have, well, he took his eye off it, and it was made a sickening sound.
That was fast, short, bowling to a guy who, when he bowled Akhtar in the first inning, we never thought he was quick. He's now getting the same stuff he gave to South Africa when he bowled.
Ducked right into it.
Anyway, game on. Sean Pollock. Well enough. That will bring a 300 up for Pakistan. So they will have felt that they've done really well today. It's been pretty unorthodox. South Africa will feel a little aggrieved. Pakistan now within only 64 of the South African trophy. Four. Well, Pollock won't like the fact that it's gone for 4, but it does keep the number 11 at the striker's end. 305 for 9. And it went down. A little bit of, excuse me, I'm here. Would you mind walking around with me? It was quickly resolved.
Pollock standing his ground and the batsman saying, well, this is my running line. There's conflict of interest.
Whipped away, he'll want 2. He'll have to hurry. And does. Wonderful throw from Alan Donald.
Good piece of cricket, good positive running. Ball just down leg side, and Alan Donald, such a magnificent athlete, swoops on the boundary, good return, good cricket all round.
Took that away nicely. 1-2, naturally enough. We're over at 311 now for 9. And he's hit that halfway up the bank. Great shot.
Wonderful shot. Gets himself into position very quickly. dispatches it effortlessly over square leg. See that left foot opening up. Mahmood really played a heroic innings for Pakistan today.
Perfectly timed. Oh, what a good delivery. Now that is frustration deluxe. I know how you feel, Polly.
Well, the batsman will probably just say, well, it's too good for me. And a beautiful delivery, just short of the length. Moving away off the seam. Not too many players would nick that one.
Wow, that's a magnificent shot. Straight over extra cover. They're asking, Cyril Mitchley's asking, yes it is, maximum. Lance Clusner's created an angle there. What a good shot.
Clusner having a change of tactics, coming round the wicket, as we've often seen before in this innings. Outside that off stump, give Mahmood any room, and he punishes the bowler.
Immediately goes back over the wicket, very sensible. This is high in the air. Gary Kirsten's underneath it, and he's dropped it. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well.
Gary Kirsten, normally a very safe pair of hands in the outfield, got himself in reasonable position to catch that.
Now, is this one going to be caught? Donald under it. Yes, and safely in his hands. He's really happy about that. So Pollock. Clusner will feel a little aggrieved. And it will alter Mahmood's average. But what a very, very important innings, Kepler.
Magnificent innings from a Pakistani point of view. Young man coming in, playing with the innocence of youth. Just watch him trying to launch yet another delivery over that extra cover area, but he was quite superb. Made his intentions clear from the word go. Ball was there to be hit. He did so very well. Maintained his concentration, rode the little bit of luck that he had, and he's kept Pakistan in this test match.
South Africa congratulating him. 215 balls, 16 fours and 2 sixes, 60 scoring shots, 136. Well, that scorecard doesn't look dissimilar to the South African one of yesterday. In fact, the 2 days have been quite similar, other than I don't think South African batsmen had quite as much luck and good fortune as Mahmood did, in terms of playing a missing and in terms of the ball landing in strange places and going over the top slips. But the two similar factors was one big 100 there and support of 46, 44 and 34. But the catches were dropped by Pakistan yesterday that proved very, very important, and South Africa have done exactly the same today. Otherwise both sides might have been bowled out for somewhere around 175.
Well, definitely, I think both teams will be disappointed by the fact that they let the opposition off the hook. But catching, and particularly catching close to the wicket, we keep coming back to the same subject, is a specialist art. It is a skill that has to be practiced, that has to be learned, that comes with experience. And with the number of new players in the South African side, the sooner they sort out their slip cordon, so it's an established one, where the percentage of catches taken is high enough, the better off South Africa will be.
Partnership, again, a similar story, other than South Africa's innings was dominated by the 195 world record. Mark Boucher and